Oh, hi there, TSN. Iron Drac here, over in the cheap seats, because we is poor over here. Um, I disrespectfully don't agree with, what was his name? Hutton. I think I'll call him douchebag instead. Uh, he was emphasizing that he preferred quantity over quality. Or no, the other way around. He preferred quality over quantity. I prefer quality and quantity. So yeah, you go on ahead and stroke Eric Carlson's ego. I don't give no damn. And Darren Dreger, what is the blonde-haired woman doing there, and why does she have an opinion? If, like, in all honesty, uh, I mean, what use is she for anybody? I mean, it's not like she knows the sport very well or how to make money or anything important like that. I mean, why don't you send her back home with the easy bake oven? Anyway, I don't want to talk about Eric Carlson. I don't like Eric Carlson. I don't like people who are stroked. And just because Eric Carlson's probably his father or something like that was a Swedish bastard, which is the reason why everyone's stroking him so much, whether he invented some sort of fucking toaster or something, or Eric Carlson's father went over to Asia and had sexual relations with a politician over there. I don't know. I don't give a shit. That's his business and his bullshit. And I had to listen to enough people stroking Sidney Crosby before he'd even done anything to want to put up with that. Anyway, I'm done with this conversation. I don't give a damn. I'm glad he didn't come to Vancouver or Philadelphia or every other team in the NHL. Like everyone's saying, oh, the San Jose Sharks have an unbeatable blue line right now. They are an utter failure as a team. They always have been. Old man Nolan was the only thing that, was somewhat all right from the organization. Eric Carlson, ineffectual on the ice. I guarantee you, he'll be worse there than he was in Ottawa. And, Ottawa, he was not a bad defenseman, but again, did he get a little helping hand? Because I don't see him as being particularly intelligent, Anyway, yeah, I'm done talking about that. What I want to talk about is how a video I made before, and there is the possibility it could be true, that I suggested that something needed to change in Washington, and I thought that putting Ovechkin on the Philadelphia Flyers may help their chances better at winning the Stanley Cup and defeating Sidney Crosby, the little cry bitch that has consistently, pulled every sleazy trick in the book. I mean, he's just an underhanded person, and he's always been that way. And who knows what dirty secrets he has hidden. Anyway, yeah, I suggested that that Alexander Ovechkin go to the Philadelphia Flyers, and that may help out the organization. It is a possibility, although you didn't ever see him in a Philadelphia Flyers jersey. The Washington Capitals would have been very keen as an organization on deposing of the old regime of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and deservingly so. I don't feel bad that Sidney Crosby lost. That's too bad for him. With the way he plays and the way everyone was stroking him, I'm like, yeah, too bad you lost. You won enough that you're going to go in the Hall of Fame even though you don't really deserve it. And, he's going to have to take it. That's his problem, not anybody else's. And you know what? On the ice, you never saw Alexander Ovechkin wear a Philadelphia Flyers jersey. I don't know what the state of the relationship with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Washington Capitals was at the time when I made the video. But I might have helped, give a little push as to them forging some sort of alliance to spite Sidney Crosby. The Washington Capitals were able to defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby went to the finals against the Vegas Golden Knights and defeated Marc-Andre Fleury there. And you know what? Like the Vegas Golden Knights, they had a very successful starting season. I was skeptical how well they would do after what happened there, because those sort of things they impact an entire area. They just do, because people don't want to go there because they think that that's what's going to happen when it isn't necessarily. That's a whole other story. Anyway, Las Vegas is a dirty, sleazy place, and they didn't deserve to win a Stanley Cup their first time round. That's not what Marc-Andre Fleury wanted to hear, but you got 3 Stanley Cup rings, shut the fuck up. We've fucking heard enough about the grovelers to Asia. Heard enough of them. And that being Chris Letang, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and what's his name? That goaltender who was terrible. Not interesting to watch at all, and I knew he'd fall apart at the seams when it got to the final, because it doesn't matter. The Golden Knights had an amazing season anyway. It didn't matter that they didn't win the Stanley Cup, and only an idiot hockey fan wouldn't understand that. So, I think Alexander Ovechkin, I think they did something good as far as, aligning themselves maybe a bit stronger with a contribution from me. It might be a possibility. And, I'm glad Alexander Ovechkin won the Stanley Cup. He earned it. And, that's not what other people want to hear, because they want it all for themselves. However, that is too bad, because Pittsburgh is a rat's nest. It always has been one, and it always will be one. And because it has a hockey team that's successful for corrupt reasons, does not mean that Sidney Crosby should be stroked, and why I don't like Erik Karlsson being stroked. I understand he's just some douchebag unknown for the ride, but you got to take into consideration what his cronies have been up to. I mean, that's not Erik Karlsson's fault, because he's a douchebag, as I said, but it has to be taken into consideration, unfortunately. Anyway, that is my 2 cents. I prefer quality and quantity, not quality, because you are lying, button shithead, that all you're interested in was quality. You obviously wanted quantity because you wanted more Stanley Cups. You want Erik Karlsson to win more Stanley Cups. And why? Because Erik Karlsson's father went over to, some pygmy little village and sucked some, Hindu's dick or something? What the fuck? What's wrong with you? I mean, that might just not be accurate, but I'm sure there's something not right here. And it deserves for someone to, sort of be the front seat for it, so that people are more knowledgeable about the subject, their hands loosen a bit, and we don't have to put up with the same simplistic rhetoric over and over and over again. I don't think Sidney Crosby is that amazing a hockey player, and I don't want it to continue to start with Erik Karlsson, or Connor McDavid for that matter. I mean, Connor McDavid has cooled off. And it would have been better if Taylor Hall had stayed with Edmonton, because he was amazing in New Jersey last year, and he should have another few good years in him at least. However, what was best for him, was obviously his decision. Anyway, that's what I got to say about that. I think that Alexander Ovechkin, he made stronger business ties with the Philadelphia Flyers along with the Washington Capitals organization. I suggested to do that, and it's the obvious thing to do when you think about it, because Washington obviously hated Pittsburgh because particularly Ovechkin could never beat Crosby because of the rhetoric. And Philadelphia has this long-standing feud against Pittsburgh, so it made perfect sense that they allied themselves against, a horrendously evil enemy. Anyway, that's what I gotta say. Have fun with that.